Paul, there's absolutely some benefit to a level of ambiguity during certain stages of the negotiation. And perhaps the most benefit is early on, where you can perhaps get some level of agreement on principles that are not too difficult to get the parties to agree to, perhaps, but it's important in terms of creating some level of momentum. And so, yeah, we're going to take baby steps. And yes, they're ambiguous. Yes, we're not making full, we're not dotting all the I's, we're not crossing all the T's. We don't have all the details worked out, but we're working together to develop some momentum so that we can ultimately get a deal. But as you get closer and closer to the end result of a deal, I would suggest, and it's a little bit of a spectrum, I would suggest that the benefit of significant ambiguity on significant issues decreases, because you really need to start to nail down some levels of agreement. And if all you're doing, and perhaps in a transactional context, you're drafting around issues, you're creating ambiguity, what are you doing? You're creating litigation for the future. And sometimes it makes sense to draft around it. I would suggest that in most cases, at the end of the day, ambiguity is a negative as opposed to a positive.
So there are provisions in the agreement that say that Iran will do something or not do something for a certain period of time, and after that time period expires, the statement is they intend to not do something or do something later on.
And the critical point of that is at that point, what kind of leverage do you have to get some level of compliance?
Well, you can almost see the draftsman's way around it. We'll never agree to go beyond 15 years, but will you say that you intend not to do it? That's not worth a whole lot.
Well, it's rhetoric. And I would say it has worth, but it certainly doesn't have nearly the same worth as if you had built that rhetoric into the details of the deal.